Hi, you're listening to elizabethMulhane, and thank you for joining me. I'm your teacher and course designer. I just wanted to introduce myself. So, I'm 55 years old, and I'm the mother of 5, the grandmother of 3, and I've been meditating for a very long time. I've enjoyed meditation since childhood. When I was in my 30s, I began a psychology degree, and I got a 2A honours, and for my thesis I did improving well-being using mindfulness and sound, and so I used a lot of that information through the course. I'm also a yoga teacher, a Tai Chi instructor, and a dance movement therapist, and I've got qualifications in fine art, and I've worked in childcare. So I've worked as a clay play teacher, and I've worked just going into childcares delivering mindfulness, and then I've also really learnt the early years learning framework through needing to put forward a proposal to a Montessori to run a before and after care at the school. So yeah, lots of experience, and I've worked so much with my own grandchildren. So you're in safe, capable hands, and I really will go outside of the box of terms of mindfulness, and I will show you it really still is mindfulness, but a little bit deeper than the average course on the market. You'll see how you can meditate in some really wonderful ways, and you can share that with kids as well, particularly when we get later into the course and you're working with the mind's eye. It's a wonderful way to meditate using the mind's eye, and then from that kind of meditation we can also get in touch with what we are experiencing at any moment, in terms of all the images that are always going through our brain that we're often just simply not aware of, because we haven't really trained our mind to pay attention to all those images, but they do affect our being. Okay, so the main thing in this course for you to truly develop your own mindfulness practice is to do 5 minutes of breath training morning and evening. If you can do it in the middle of the day, so you're doing it 3 times, fantastic. You just to sit there and focus on your breath. Choose a particular way you're going to focus, whether it's feeling the cooler air going into your nostrils and the slightly warmer air going out, or whether it's maybe placing a hand on your diaphragm and watching your breath go in and out. You're just focusing in a particular way each time you practice, and go for 5 minutes. One of the recordings is just a chime, to just chime and let you know when the 5 minutes is up. But you can just set your phone timer for 5 minutes. That way you don't need to even, log in anywhere. And when you do that, it's a wonderful way to practice, because you're taking away that need to listen externally, because that slightly changes your conscious experience. When you're actually listening to a guide, you're listening externally rather than not needing the guide and just listening internally. And that is just the whole focus of just internal concentration. Okay, so what will happen is you'll start, just say you're doing your diaphragm, you're sitting there breathing in and out, and within a very short time a thought will pop up. They're just automatic thoughts that pop up. Don't judge yourself, bring compassion to your practice, and just say, once you've realized, okay, sometimes you might run away with those thoughts. Once you realize, I've just been thinking, just compassionately come back to the self, come back to wherever you're focusing, and use the mental words, return to my breath. So you just continue that process for the whole 5 minutes. In time, the practice will get better. You will have a longer period of being able to just settle the mind and just really concentrate and focus. You really need to do this not forget to do this. Okay, first thing in the morning before you get out of bed, last thing of an evening when you're laying in bed. Great way to clear your mind and get to sleep. And this is going to rewire your brain. Okay, this 5 minutes of formal training will go into your everyday living. And that's where the real magic happens. That's where mindfulness comes into being, because you'll say to yourself throughout the day, because you'll rewire your brain. So you'll say to yourself, pop up automatic thought, return to my breath, because you're just constantly doing that for 5 minutes twice a day. And so it's going to come up through the day, and then you're to respond to that and return to your breath through the day. And so that's your informal practice, and that's you living with mindfulness. You really need to continue that 5-minute practice forever because that's what's going to continue to activate mindfulness in your own life. And once you are living in that state, the time pressure feelings, the anxiety feelings, they're all going to become more in perspective. It doesn't mean you're never going to have those feelings or never going to have, depressing thoughts or anxious thoughts. You're not going to absolutely change who you are as an individual, but you're going to shift your conscious experience of yourself. Okay, and you're not going to be as reactive to the thoughts you have. And as you start to cultivate other ways of meditating, of being, practicing gratitude, practicing loving kindness, you will actually start to cultivate a new self. You'll slowly grow into, a person that is more present and more conscious of knowing they should be residing in thoughts and feelings that are good for them. And this is how mindfulness can improve our well-being, because it makes us conscious of what we're doing in our mind, of what we're feeling in our heart, and of how we, our self-talk about ourselves, or our judgment or criticisms towards other people, all that comes into conscious awareness, and we can make the changes that we need to make if there's changes that need to be made. And so we're just experiencing life in a more positive, conscious way. Okay. So through the course, you're also going to have quizzes. There's also a downloadable workbook, and I want you to get the workbook each week, print it out, and have the workbook guide you through the course. So each week you'll start at the workbook. Really try to get through the course in the 8 weeks. Set yourself a time that you can put aside each week for a few hours of study. Do your meditations that are along the way, and there's little assignments, so they're just for your own growth in the workbook. So do those, and use the 10-week B program. That's got a separate script booklet and a separate arts and crafts booklet, and each week has a lesson plan, just teaching the kids about bees, and there's games in there. It's really designed just to show you how you can incorporate mindfulness and meditation into educational programs that also incorporate the early years learning framework. All right. Enjoy the course. Don't forget to join the private group as well, and there'll be extra files along with that group as well, and some of the bonus content is in that group as well. So for example, one of the bonus contents is a workshop working with divorced kids. So that kind of thing that will not be in this course, but you can still access those kind of files by joining that private group. Okay, I will see you through the course. Bye for now.